yep. Không cho chồng quay sống quay tự quay có. Bây giờ cho chồng sống sống chết chồng quay chồng quay tự quay chồng. Bây giờ chơi chồng quay tự hiện tự quay tự chơi chồng quay chồng. What I just said is, I've got a new rap song coming up, guys. Look out for that. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot in these streets. You know, once upon a time, the police tried to raid my place, but all they found was my mixtapes. So it was just fire. They couldn't come inside because it was just fire. There was just fire everywhere, everywhere all at the same time. So get this. Remember the thing I told you about being your weird self? Yeah. You see, one has always had an affinity to language. You know, the sounds and intonations that it sounds like, how it speaks, how it goes. And basically, this language basically is a way of expressing different tones of voice, different tones of speaking. This language also represents the kinds of mannerisms that are in the bloodline into their tongue, because each part of the body represents each part of the bloodline. You know, if you were come from a family of people who texted a lot, you will have thicker thumbs. But if you come from people who talk a lot, you'll have a more adept tongue. You see, now this whole idea of an adept tongue comes with the assimilation of language. You see, whenever we speak a language, we are actually expressing ideas, expressing vibrations of light. You see, now when we are using this language, we are able to actually decode energy. This energy, we call it thoughts, but it's actually a frequency that is being broadcasted. You see, it is being broadcasted to your brain because your brain is tuned to the universal radio, right? So this universal radio comes as a light that hits your eye, and then it speaks into fractals, giving you information. This information can come from the sun, come from the reality itself. Basically, it is limited. You hearing light, you hearing love, you hearing life is you actually assimilating the consciousness of reality. But the consciousness of reality basically is the universe. So this universe that is actually being in exploration, that is actually expressing itself through everything that is basically communicating with you. So you, as somebody who actively communicates by speaking, you are actually somebody who is able to decode language through the universe, because the universe itself does not really speak in the same way of a tongue, but it shows with action. So you, the person who is able to speak to their tongue, are able to translate action into words. Like for example, you see Timmy kick Jim and Jim cries. You are assimilating this into your consciousness. You're able to say Timmy kicked Jim. You see, you're translating the actions into words. So this is basically the evolution of the tongue. It's the evolution of how strong the tongue can actually be. Also, this is showing the evolution of the bloodline. This is why we actually motivate you to be weird. Please be weird, because your weirdness is mostly tied to the diverse nature of your DNA, and the DNA has spread itself out for eons. You know, there was this one line I once heard from this other anime where this character was like, the DNA has been, no, he wasn't talking about the DNA, he was talking about life. He said life has found a way to live in some of the most inhospitable of circumstances, you know. And as he's saying this, you see there are volcanoes literally passing by and you see how there are lizards that live by the volcanoes, that even adapted to live by that heat. Then you see the oceans, how rough they are as they crash against the rocks. And you see that there are whales that live in there, and fish. These creatures, these creatures, all actually found themselves uh, making an habitat for themselves, even in the harshest of environments. You see, now this assimilation is basically how everybody actually can adapt in any kind of situation. No matter how rough may be, that situation is there for the to facilitate the healing of the individual, the healing of the DNA. So as he was talking about life, he was saying how life can adapt into any kind of situation, no matter how hard, no matter how rough. And then as he said this, we realized like, whoa, there is a serious correlation to how life uh, life is the DNA, is evolution, you see, because like everything that is, like some people evolved over generations to live in the ice, and then some people evolved over generation to live in heavily polluted areas. Some people have even evolved to live in extreme poverty. Now, this evolution is both for the good and for the bad. I say that because if it's for the bad, it's showing one how to actually evolve from the bad to the good. If it's good, it's showing how to make it better. Now, when the one is in the bad, like for example, let's say the bloodline has evolved into poverty, what happens is there generally is somebody who stands a chance to changing that situation entirely. But due to the laws of conformity, that person may not make it if they are not brave, may not make it if they're not strong enough. Therefore, sometimes poverty can go on for generations unhealed, and it just is accepted as something that is allowed in this family. But in actual reality, it's actually it's programmed into the memory of the bloodline. And if the bloodline could actually realize itself, it would send somebody to actually undo that, and generally does. So basically, the whole evolution of this you being weird, feeling bad about you being weird, you are just slowing down your life. You're slowing down your blood, you're slowing down your evolution, because you were actually designed to be that weird in order so that you can assimilate those kinds of light. You see, the light comes in the different spectrums, several colors to be honest, more than seven, because seven is only the visible light spectrum, whilst the invisible light spectrum goes even higher. There is even more than there is to realize. So this is actually allowing you to go into the light, move into the weirdness, do the things that you find awkward, but they are not so, because it's actually empowering. It's actually empowering for us to see it, because whenever we see you doing you, we are also empowered to thinking, huh, that's a possibility. And then the reality itself shifts just because of that minor action. Because everything we do in this reality is a vibration that reverberates throughout the whole. You see, ever throw a stone into a pond and see the waves reverberate throughout the whole pond? Even though no matter how small that stone was, that whole pond still reverberated just because you threw it. So this is how basically reality is, since everything is vibration, energy, and frequency. So basically, the more you throw the stones in the pond, more the pond actually realizes like, hey, there's somebody throwing stones in me. I have to shift to adapt to this, and it does shift. That's why you see the waves, because that's the pond trying to shift, that you throwing stones at it. You see, this is a very valid way of viewing reality. The fact that every stone, every action, every reaction, every thought, every word, every little thing is actually indicating how everything is touching one another. This point of reality is touching that point of reality. See, as I speak here, I'm thinking that wall is indifferent to my voice, but in actual reality, the fact that I'm speaking means that my vibrations are hitting that wall, whether it likes it or not, and so much so because my voice vibrations are so subtle, they are literally going through the wall into the rest of the road. Yeah, I bet some of that road got my voice on it right now. Yeah. I bet that road's got my voice all over while I'm speaking right now. Oh no, oh no. Wait, it might even go like further than that. It might go to the other side of the road. I think it's touching the grass. I think it's touching some of the grass. Or it's spreading down the road. Wait, oh no, wait, yep. Especially when I intone higher, it's going down that road. It's going down that road. Check it out. I'm telling you, it's going down that road. Oh, wait, it's going back there too. You see, these are the reverberations. They are going further and further. And everybody who passes by, who hears this, is going to be changed by the reverberations. Because whenever we hear somebody, like their voice is actually taken in within us and now is producing a point of view. This point of view is basically informing us on how to react or how we feel about this tone of voice that has happened. And this is why sometimes one has to learn to protect himself in this type of manner, because some people will take advantage of you being able to be a listening voice. You see, some people don't deserve you to be listened to them. Sometimes you just gotta listen to who you truly are, who you truly feel you are. That's why I always say you gotta be weird. You just gotta be who you are, because that's the reality of reality. That's the reality of realities. Man, God knew what he was doing when he created you. You see, now I'm going to speak some real truth. God knew exactly what he was doing when he created you. Alright? He knew exactly. There was no mistake in his mind. And there's still no mistake in his mind. Actually, now that I think about it, God's mind is the most mysterious object in metaphysical reality. Like when you try to interpret the will of God, you find yourself being wrong most of the time. That's why it's best to just let it be. Surrender to the fact that you will only understand. Maybe if he likes, he will let you overstand. And finally, maybe, yeah, sometimes even understanding can be expensive. I'm telling you, this one time I was trying to actually send my consciousness from this understanding into understanding. And the journey I went through, I won't lie to you, it was grueling. It took time. And the veil of reality was very, very thick, almost unbreakable. But luckily, I make tools to break through realities. So basically, I got through and finally started understanding, even replaced understanding in my vocabulary. Then I had to start trying to overstand, and that took experience. Yeah, I even lost the twin flame in the mix. So the overstanding finally got achieved by assimilating both the masculine and the feminine. And this masculine and the feminine is the duality that we experience, because we gotta recall that we are born from a mother and we are born from a father. So mother and father are also born from a grandfather, a mama, and a father. So both sides are born from mother, father, mother, father, mother, father. You see. So this is the divine feminine playing out itself over many many generations. So these many generations, as they go about, being so, um, we find ourselves mixing the point of what these masculine feminine dynamics were all about. Then we find ourselves mixed up in the modern way of thinking, modern lines of thinking. Thus you find things like femininity and masculinity, red pill, blue pill, because it's basically the consciousness trying to balance itself from the different balances of masculine and feminine that are in conflict with each other. So these masculine and feminine dynamics that are in conflict with each other basically start a type of friction within the psyche of the person, and this type of friction, we feel it because you see it in the reality being expressed. Yeah, old Togo doesn't like you, it doesn't like you. So as I was saying, basically you feel it in the reality, the imbalance of the masculine and feminine energies. But when you actually learn to focus on being weird and being okay with that, being okay with just being who you are, you literally allow God to play His role in your life. You know, to let Him actually tell you what the role of your life is by just being weird, allowing yourself to be natural within your awkwardness, your quirks, your many mistakes. That one time you were awkward, the one time you didn't know how to socialize, the one time you didn't know how to yada yada yada. Because all these mistakes that we are committing in life are basically us learning how to do the thing right, man. We are just learning how to live the life the right way. So, life the right way has shown me that, it's all about what you are doing with your weirdness. Because that weirdness is basically what is your business. It's you minding your business. That's your business. That's your bloodline. It's in you. It's all you. It's your thing. It's not everybody else's. Nobody else's business. Nobody gives a damn about it but you, because you're the one with it. You're the one being weird, right? So like, it's your business why you are being weird, because you're the only one who understands it. Like, that's the reason you understand it. It also actually made me realize a lot of us have a reason to laugh. Yeah, we have a reason to laugh, but that reason you may not necessarily know it. Just some things that there are some things that you find funny. Yeah, you find them funny, you see. And then when there's something is funny, it makes you laugh. You see, you probably never rationalized, why do I laugh at what I laugh at? Because it's different for everybody. Some people like laughing when other people fall. Some other people like laughing when somebody cracks a joke. You see, some people laughing when somebody makes funny noises. You see, not really explained why everybody likes what they like, but it's beneficial for that person, is it not? Then why do you take your witness as something off, something not official or not allowed to be within the bounds? Hmm? How come it's like that for you? Why is it like that? Tell me. Why? Why? Because if we are going to be honest with ourselves, we might as well be honest with ourselves. We have found that there is such thing as a shadow self, where you basically have hidden all the things that you are, that you will never admit about yourself. And then now these things are coming, sabotaging your success, sabotaging your life. You see, fumbling baddies. Fellas, you know what I mean? Out here fumbling baddies. A wise man once said, a man doesn't learn through adversity and trial and challenge. No, he learns by fumbling baddies. Fumbling baddies gives him the urge to train harder, to work harder, to do more, to be more. And then, yeah, yeah. You see, so those kind of things. Why do the things that make us laugh? Because it's you. It's got to do with just you. It's your business. That's why, like, your weirdness has got to do with your evolution. If you don't do it, if you don't express it in its full extent, in its full capacity, you're gonna be you're gonna be holding yourself back. You're gonna be holding your people back. So please be it, do it, because the masculine and the feminine both need it. The masculine is in you, the feminine is in you. All they need is the assimilation. This assimilation is order for us, for you to evolve, and for them to evolve through you. You see, once upon a time, I had a problem with putting on earrings as a male. I felt it makes me less feminine, it makes me less masculine. But little did I know, that's the point. I wasn't supposed to feel less than of less than. No, I was supposed to just assimilate both sides of the equation and just keep on keeping now. Cause it ain't nobody's business what is on my ears. They're mine. They're mine. Seriously. Yeah, man. So, so I realized like it was the whole point. Like you are supposed to just do things that you feel because it's your business why you are doing it anyway, and it'll be your business why you did it when they trial you in heaven, but which they won't because everybody was came here to make choices. That's what reality is. It's a series of choices, and we are here to make the choices. I'll help you out.